section of the PGA Tour Super Season, 5th of 50 events this week, and we are underway. The temperature is going to hit the low to mid 90s again. Right now, calm with the wind, so just perfect conditions again, at least early today, to get out there and shoot some low scores. And we've got players on the move already with the co-leaders, Martin Laird and Patrick Cantlay at 12 under par. Our analyst is a 5-time winner on the PGA Tour, member of the tour since 2003, Mark Wilson. And like I said at the leaderboard, to start things off, Mark, familiar names atop the leaderboard right now on a Friday in Vegas.
Earl, it's kind of that courses for horses theory, really. Martin Laird won it in 2009. Then he was on that tee box when Jonathan Bird held the ace. He finished second the very next year. Patrick Cantlay, his finishes here, not too bad. 1, 2, 2. I mean, that's not too shabby at all, and here they are at the top of the leaderboard. So it's when you get on a golf course that you just really like and you have some good vibes, you just keep going with that. Bryson DeChambeau is another one. We're going to have him a lot in our afternoon coverage today. His finishes the last 3 seasons were 4th, 1st, and 7th. So there's another guy that loves it. Shot the 62 yesterday. Birdies and eagles are flying. The field's already 506 under par. So far, there's no reason, Earl, to see why it's going to be any different today.
Well, I mentioned it's calm right now, not really much of a breeze at all, but there is an El Nino blowing through TPC Summerlin. Sergio Garcia, the win last week. Mark Zecchino, he's right back at it, 9 under and 3 back.
Yeah, he's just playing well again today, Earl. He got some late momentum last night. It was starting to go a little sideways in the middle of his back 9, but a late birdie on 16, another late birdie on 18 last night. Got him in the clubhouse at 5 under par. Today he's come out very clean, 4 under on the round, now 9 under par for the championship. Not putting lights out, but what is impressing me, Earl, he's still so smooth and so good on those short 5-6 foot par efforts that keep rounds going. He just made another one on the par 4, 4th to stay at 9 under par.
And Mark, the way he played last week and getting that putter straightened out, it seems, a lot of folks came out of last week's win by Sergio thinking, you know what, he's got a lot of game. He can win a bunch more now that he's back in the win column on the PGA Tour, and he's right back in the thick of it this week.
Players champion, a major champion. Of course, he understands how to play the game, and sometimes you just got to give a player like that just a little bit of confidence, a little bit of something to happen for him to get the job done last week. He got a couple of nice bounces late at the Sanderson Farms, and you think about the 3-wood he hit in to the par 5 14th. That was a hard hole location to get to on a pitch shot, but he got a 3-wood in there really tight. So things were going his way, but he also, when he needed to, he went ahead and made that final birdie. And so that's sometimes all you need to give a player with his record, his track record, and his ability. So, all right, now I can do it. We might as well just run with it while I got it.
Sergio, tee shot, par 3 5th, 189 today. He's got one hand off the club. He doesn't like it, trying not to lose this to the left. And he just played it a little safe there. The miss is left, but it is off the putting surface about 40 to 50 feet downhill from there. The good news is he'll have lots of green to work with there at the par 3 5th.
Patrick Cantlay at 6 playing in this shot from 110 as he takes dead aim, pulls it right over the flagstick, and now drops it back. So he's pulled the string on that. Patrick Cantlay inside 20 feet. Great shot right at it there at 6 for possibly the go-ahead birdie to get him 13 under.
Little easier hole location today at 6. Yesterday it was kind of to the right, up against that really steep bank. Today more to the left, so you can go ahead and be a little more aggressive. If you come up a little short, it's not as severe of a miss, but Patrick Cantlay playing that the way you should. Play the spin, play it past the hole, let it come back there. And Patrick, just a couple of bogeys so far this week and just a plethora of birdies.
And today, as we start Friday, look, scoring is going to be low. We know that. It was yesterday. Scoring average is right around where it was. Yesterday it was 2.7 shots under par for the first round. We're at 2.6 shots under right now. So the cut line is going to be interesting. It's going to be a low 1 mark right now. It stands at -4, but that's tied for 51st, 71 players there. Probably not going to hang there very long. We could be looking at 5, maybe 6 under, depending on what scores do in the afternoon.
Last season, the cut was 5 under here at this event, and it's going to be at least 5, Earl, for sure. A lot of guys haven't even teed off yet. We've got almost the whole afternoon wave. Still getting ready to roll and get going. And as we've seen throughout the years, especially that stretch, 13 through 16, a lot of great birdie and eagle chances. And then you've also got that par 5 ninth for the guys that are finishing up on the front nine. So that number is just going to continue to go low, and I wouldn't feel comfortable having lunch if I'm in the clubhouse at 5 under. I'd still be looking at the scores, but I'd feel a whole lot more comfortable at 6 under that I'm going to have a weekend tee time.
And for guys finishing on the front, again, you've got a par 5, the 9th hole to finish there, and that is the easiest hole of the day. Today marked 549 at the 9th, 2 eagles, 24 birdies already, so that is likely going to decide the cut line at some point here late on Friday.
We're playing a little altitude, too. It's 2,700 feet above sea level, so guys, especially in the afternoon, start seeing the ball travel a long way. So 549-yard hole's really more like a 500-yard hole. And, you think about Bryson DeChambeau, and he's probably going to be having some sort of a 9-iron or wedge if he can get it straight. So it's certainly a lot shorter golf course, and the birds are going to continue to fly.
Quick one here from Sergio with wedge in hand, choosing to bump it down the hill. This is really well done. That's going to settle in about 1.5 feet. We're going to give him the par save here at number 5. So Sergio Garcia remains 9 under par. Mark, he had a ton of options with that one. Could have bumped it with a hybrid, could have putted it, decided to go with the wedge. It pays off.
Show some confidence there. Yesterday he struggled a little bit on the 13th hole. Was green side in 2, and a couple pitch shots later, similar to that one, a couple not great strikes. Walked off with a 6 on that 13th hole. So that shows me that Sergio has put that behind him, feels comfortable to go ahead and hit that little pitch shot with the 60-degree, let it kind of chase down the slope. And Sergio missing it in the right spots, even when he's missing it. So obviously that's a sign of a guy who's playing really good golf.
Well, I was talking about the cut line. Someone in danger now late in the round, playing alongside Patrick Cantlay, a co-leader, Ricky Fowler. Had that trouble at 17 yesterday. Tee shot in the water, made double, and he got to that stretch today, put 2 in the water at 16. Mark made a snowman, an 8 there, made another double at 17. So even though he's got a couple of birdies on this front nine coming in, he is 2 over today and -2. He's got to turn it around quickly. He needs to get on a run to make the cut.
Really shocking for Ricky Fowler, too. Yesterday, it was the first time he'd used a new putter, a lot larger profile putter than he'd had in the past, and he putted phenomenally. Today, though, just a couple errant shots and too many golf balls in the water. 4 so far for Ricky Fowler this week.
21 feet for our defending champion. Birdie effort at 6. Kevin Na en route to the hole has a shot. Oh, just misses on the high side. Kevin Na quietly creeping up this leaderboard. 3 under par for the day, now 8 under par for the tournament for the defending champion.
Really some solid golf here on the more difficult front nine. Birdied the 3rd hole and birdied the 5th hole both days, that par 3 down the hill. So Kevin Na picking up some shots on some of the less easy holes here at TPC Summerlin.
And on that stretch we talked about Fowler having troubles, that's where Patrick Cantlay got things going, birdied 16 and 17, made birdie at 18, made another one at the 1st hole. So that's how Cantlay has surged into a share of the lead here at 12 under. Mark Zucchino.
Patrick Cantlay just above the hole at 6, looking for birdie. Down the slope, hooking to the left. Oh, it just grazes the right edge. That's going to roll out a good 2.5 feet as he takes his time with this one. I got to think that maybe he just hit that with a little too much speed and did not allow it to take the break, considering how much he has coming back for the par now. Settling in this to remain 12 under, putter back to the hole, and he makes the comebacker. So Patrick Cantlay, that was a missed opportunity there. He remains 12 under par.
Mark, I think you're right. Just a hair too much speed, a little more than he wanted to. Also looked like it wiggled just a little bit in the middle, and that reminds us all that these are not absolutely perfect surfaces. Yes, they're really good bent grass greens, A1, A4 bent grass that's rolling 11.5 on the stimp meter, but that doesn't mean you're going to have some imperfections out there.
5th hole, par 3, Jason Day, 20 feet to get to 3 under par. Ball on the way, needs to turn to the right, trickling right past the cup. As he's another big name now here coming in on the front nine. Jason Day's going to walk around tapping in for par, but 2 under. Cut line looming right now at -4, probably going to get to -5. He needs a run coming in as well, like Ricky Fowler does.
A serious runner. Reminds me of James Hahn, who's up there on the leaderboard this week. He's in 3rd place, playing some great golf again. Last season at this very event, he made an 8 on his 32nd hole. It was a par 3, the 5th hole. and then finish birdie, par, eagle to make the cut with a shot to spare. So it can be done, and that's what Jason Day is going to need, probably 4 under his last 4 holes to get himself a weekend tee time.
Said to the 18th, longtime sports anchor, sports director in his hometown of El Paso, Texas, Fred Albers.
James Hahn just short of the green, lying 2 at the par 5 ninth. This is final hole of the second round, stands 4 under on the round, 11 under for the week. This is makeable, just short of the green, about 25 feet of green to work with. Onto the green, checks up by the cup, not going to go in, and maybe 3 feet remaining for the birdie upcoming for James Hahn, who's looking to post 12 under.
And we just talked about James Hahn and what he did last year. He eagled that last hole on Friday. Not going to be an eagle today, but already 2 eagles this week. One already at the 15th today, and then yesterday at the par 5 13th. James Hahn kind of fitting into that mold again, this whole courses for horses theory. Loves this place and really going to enjoy lunch after another fine day on the golf course.
Yeah, and another player, like we've had a lot of in the mix on major medical extensions. James Hahn is one of those guys, starting this week, still at 12 starts to pick up a little more than 140 FedEx Cup points. So, for him, this could be the week to get that done and kind of clear the mind and clear the schedule a little bit for James Hahn.
Yeah, you just kind of never know with those medicals, too. And it's kind of like playing as a rookie and trying to finish in the top 125 for the first time. But James Hahn, all of a sudden in 2018, sort of at the end of the year, he started having some elbow pain. And, thankfully decided to step away from the game a little bit. Had a great summer with his family and came back stronger, playing some good golf so far.
There is the tee ball of Patrick Cantlay at the 380-yard par 4 7th. Let's see how aggressive he tries to get. We challenge the front edge of the green and try to squeeze it up into the throw. Fairly aggressive. Gets it between the bunkers. That'll leave a little bit of an awkward number, but aggressive play. Cantlay, trying to give himself a look to get to 13 under.
Let's go back to Fred Albers.
James Hahn just short of the green with his second shot at the par 5 ninth. This is 18th hole of the second round, chipped up to 3 feet. 3 feet separating his ball from the cup. James Hahn looking to post 12 under. Stands in, looks down that line. And now James Hahn takes the putter back and strokes that ball into the cup. A birdie on the final hole for James Hahn. He shoots 5 under par 66. He's a dozen deep headed into the weekend at the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open. James Hahn.
2 great rounds for James Hahn, and might as well finish it off with one last birdie. Seems like everybody's making a birdie at the 9th, so James Hahn joining the party, rounds of 64, 66. Lunch is going to taste real good, and he'll have a late tee time tomorrow.
So 3 in the lead as we start our Friday second round at Vegas. James Hahn joining Patrick Cantlay, a former champ, and another past winner in Vegas, Martin Laird. 3 players at 12 under as our PGA Tour radio coverage is underway on a Friday at TPC Summerlin, second round of the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open.
At 7. Boy, he's staring this one up and down. He likes it, trying to pull the string. Oh, it settles in nicely. That is just above the hole, inside 10 feet. Kevin Ah, an opportunity to get to 9 under par.
Another guy who loves this place, couple victories here, and really turned things around on this back 9. It's been a steady couple of days for Kevin Na. Yesterday, just kind of workman's way around there. Bogey-free round of 66, and today now some good birdies coming in. Maybe another one there at the 7th.
Ricky Fowler now from inside 60. Aggressive line. Oh, that checks up inside 3 feet. Ricky Fowler fighting to make it to the weekend. A chance to get the 3 under.
All right, tracking Sergio Garcia having another good week. No birdies on this front 9 coming in yet for Sergio. Had 4 starting out of the back 9, so he is 9 under par. Another good tee shot for Sergio in the fairway, par 4, 6th hole, playing 4-12. So Sergio iron in hand from just outside 110. As he regrips a couple of times, settles in. Good smooth swing by Sergio. Front hole location right underneath the hole, hits it. And this is backing up, and it's gone in. Ole, ole, ole for Sergio Garcia. And a big smile and a high five with the caddy. Just like that, eagle at 6. He's minus 11.
I told you, Earl, that's an easy hole location. You should hole it. Not that easy. And what a beautiful shot. A little draw in there. Lands right of the hole. Couple of bounces. Spinning back towards the front of the green and rolled in like a putt. Not a hole you expect to eagle. The 6. We talk about a lot of these eagle holes out here. What a bonus for Sergio Garcia. He doesn't need birdies on this side. Earl, just make some eagles.
Patrick Cantlay, just a little flip from 50 yards. Looking just left of the hole, like it's going to just take a little leak to the right on its first hop. Quiet hands, pitches this up the hill, needs it to check. Oh, he's not going to be happy with that. He got it to settle down, but that one is close to that 15 feet range, possibly outside of it from above the hole. It will be a birdie effort, however, to get the 13 under.
Mark, that was a bit bizarre. It looked like a pretty good wedge shot, and it took a really big bounce, considering one we saw from Ricky Fowler just before, kind of one bounce and check. So Patrick Cantlay, a lot longer birdie putt than he'd hoped.
And Patrick Cantlay still at the 7's going to have a chance for birdie in the outright lead in 60 seconds.
15 feet, he's going to get it. Okay, not happy with the wedge from 50 yards, but boy, the good putt makes up for a lot in this game. Patrick Cantlay now gets it to 13 under par.
It's such an interesting way that the guys are playing the 7th hole. Yesterday we saw Bryson DeChambeau drive it on the green in with his tee shot, but it used to be the 11 times I played this event, back there starting 2003 and beyond, everyone just kind of hit an iron or a hybrid over to the right, give himself 130 yards, but Patrick Cantlay taking it on, especially with this right hole location today at the 7th. I think most guys are going to go ahead and hit it up there kind of near the green. Patrick Cantlay, the wedge shot didn't get as close as he wanted, but when the putter is as hot for Patrick Cantlay, might as well knock it in.
And Kevin Na, the defending champ, he's got a really good look here, Mark.
Just a hair inside of 8 feet. Kevin Na looking for back-to-back birdies to get to 9 under par. This is just looking inside left like it's going to leak to the right. Putter back on the left edge. Needs to move. It does. Kevin Na now 9 under par for the defending champion.
It's solid in that range this week from 7 to 10 feet. He's 3 for 5, so that's just a little bit better than the PGA Tour average. Kind of that 8-foot range is the break-even point. So from 7 to 10 feet, if you're making 60% of your putts, certainly you're doing better than the field. And Kevin Na, one of the greatest putters on the PGA Tour, does a little more upright with the shaft there. Almost the heel sits off the ground, a la Steve Stricker. And Steve Stricker certainly has rolled in his fair share of putts. Might as well copy someone like that. Kevin Na, another birdie there at the 7th.
Now, Ricky Fowler just a tap in here to get the 3 under par, and he rolls that in nicely. So Ricky Fowler puts an important birdie on the board. He's trying to make it to Saturday. He's 3 under par.
Yeah, probably 2 more needed. Even maybe birdie eagle is likely what's going to be needed, but at least he's got a chance.
6th hole, Jason Day in much need of a birdie. 2 shots outside the cut line, running out of time, coming in on the front. Just inside 13 feet, 12 feet, 10 inches for Jason Day. Very meticulous always about this putting stroke as he settles it down with his right hand. Left hand comes in. Needs a couple of birdies at least. May need 3 coming in as he pulls the trigger on that putt from 13 feet. Standing up, doesn't like it. It runs by on the right. Walks away, he's muttering to himself. Just didn't like it from the moment it left the face, and now he's in some trouble if he wants to make the cut.
Jason Day, a guy who's been in the Tour Championship for 6 consecutive seasons dating back to 3 years. The last 2 seasons on the PGA Tour, not part of the final tournament of the PGA Tour schedule. And the guys talk about really working their schedule around being there at East Lake and getting all the way there. So Jason Day trying to find his form back, and the flat stick, that's been always a very positive for Jason Day, but unable to capitalize there at the 6th.
Defending champion Kevin Na, he's not happy with this one. He is swatting it away. He's not happy with the swing, and that's because he was at the par 3 8th from 181. That is a front right hole location. You can't miss right, and he just got it turning over too much, a little too much of a safety play, so it's a bailout. We'll miss the green hole high. We'll have a bit of a slippery one kind of coming across the green, and of course coming off that birdie, Kevin Na now at 9 under par, playing quite well. Playing alongside Ricky Fowler and Patrick Cantlay. Ricky Fowler now, as Mark Wilson suggested, going to need at least 2 more birdies, if not a par here, and then a big bird on 9. 5 under, likely the number to play some golf on Saturday. This is aggressive, right of the hole. This needs to hold its head. Oh, it's going to miss low and right, and that may find the native area. We'll have to see. Ricky Fowler needing a lucky bounce here at 8.
Probably just going to be in the green side bunker. He had to go ahead flag hunting there and try to hit one really in tight. That front right hole location in a nice spot there. It's only 181 yards, but the miss to the right is very tough there. Ricky Fowler going to have a hard time getting up and down, but he really needs birdies to finish.
And now the opposite story. Patrick Cantlay at 13 under doesn't need to do anything silly here. Keep it left of the flag and then take your chances at the par 5 ninth. 181. And this is well left, trying to hit a big swinging cut. Needs to get moving. It looks like it's straightening out on him instead, and that's a very conservative leave. Left and underneath the hole, he'll be pitching from off the green outside 50 feet for Patrick Cantlay.
Mark, I think he was just trying to make sure he didn't hit the flag stick again here at the 8th. Yesterday, he hit the flag stick. It bounded way left on the green. He did end up making the 62-foot putt, but that one certainly not looking to just try to miss the flag stick, trying to hit it in the appropriate spot, left side of the green, but just a bit of a pull for Patrick Cantlay at the 8th.
Sergio, driver, big swing after dropping one in from the fairway for an eagle, a deuce at 6. Sergio's off the tee at the 7th hole. That one's in good shape. Caught the left edge of the fairway, so that's a dog leg left. He's on the inside of the dog leg. Good angle, right-hand hole location as Sergio's making a run again, 11 under.
Another one of these guys kind of taking it over this grove of trees on the left, a play that I'd never really seen before until maybe about 5 years ago. Guys started thinking, hey, why don't we just get it up there? I think it speaks volumes to the shot link data that the players really look at and realize that hey, if I can get it up there closer to the green in the long run, certainly I'm going to be better off, even if I happen to miss a few fairways that way.
Well, a lot of people didn't think it was a hole where you could drive it close until Bryson DeChambeau stepped up at 7 yesterday and said, hold my protein shake. He hit it to about 15 feet and 2-putted for birdie, 1-2 coming in to shoot 62, and we're right around the same distance today. 349 front, 380 today at that 7th hole, and maybe a little more accessible because it's on the right-hand side, Mark. I'm guessing Bryson DeChambeau, among others, is going to stay aggressive here in this second round as well.
Way more accessible today with that back red hole location. Yesterday, he did hit into the group in front of him, and I was pleased to hear that he didn't realize that the guys were on the green. He said they felt like they were a little bit behind, taking him a while to play the 6th hole, so he went ahead and hit, and I believe it was Chesson Hadley was up there. If you're going to hit into somebody, Chesson Hadley, who's a pretty free-spirit, fun guy, he'd be the guy to hit into, and Bryson, of course, went up and apologized to them after the round. Certainly didn't mean to hit into him. But that was a tremendous tee shot there. For all those eagle putts that Bryson had yesterday, not able to get one down, but 9 birdies.
Members of our broadcast team wear FootJoy shoes, the #1 shoe in golf and the #1 shoe worn every week on the PGA Tour. From Pro SL, the hottest shoe on tour, to the all-new Tour S, its most powerful shoe ever, FootJoy has more sizes, styles, and players than any other brand. Choose FootJoy, the #1 shoe in golf, by visiting FootJoy.com.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open from TPC Summerlin in Las Vegas, Nevada. And as we do at the top and bottom of every hour in our live play-by-play coverage, time now for a leaderboard update brought to you by MasterCard. Tap and go with your MasterCard, the simple, secure way to pay.
Patrick Cantlay, the winner 3 years ago and runner-up the last 2 years, has the lead on Friday. 5 under through 16, 2 holes to play. And remember, one of those, a finishing par 5 on the front for Cantlay with a 1-shot lead on 2 players tied for second. James Hahn is in with a 66 today, 12 under for him, and another former champion also 1 shot back. Martin Laird, he's about to finish on that front 9. Fred Albers.
Martin Laird trying to finish off what's been a good day of golf. He's 6 under on the round, 12 under for the week, playing the par 5 ninth. This is his 18th hole of the second round. He's in the 230 range. Front hole location, very reachable for Laird. And we have contact. That ball squirts out to the right-hand side. Got to cover those bunkers on the right-hand side. 1 hop onto the green. This is going to be a good shot. This is going to be a great shot from Martin Laird. Maybe 5-6 feet away from eagle for Martin Laird.
That could vault him into the lead with his final putt of the day coming up. While fireworks at TPC Summerlin, Laird and Hahn trail Patrick Cantlay by 1. 2 back, Sergio Garcia, hole out eagle for him a few moments ago at number 6. Sergio 6 under for the round, down -11. Nate Lashley's also tied for 4th at 11 under par, and then -9. The defending champ, 2-time winner Kevin Na, Louis Oosthuizen, Bryson DeChambeau, the overnight leader, with 62, and Stuart Cink, the winner to start this FedEx Cup season a month or so ago at the Safeway Open. They're stacked up at 9 under.
In 26th position is Matt Kuchar, 2 under par today. That's 6 under par total. He's got 4 holes left. Hideki Matsuyama, 5 under par right now. That's 38th place. He's 2 under par in his round. He's got 3 holes remaining. Ricky Fowler, 1 over par on his day. That's 3 under for the tournament, playing 2 holes left. And getting going this afternoon will be Webb Simpson. He's 3 under after 68 yesterday, and Kyle Morikawa after 69 yesterday.
Back on the course, part of the major championship coverage for TSN television and radio in Canada, Mark Cicchino.
Kevin Na has just hit his pitch shot at 8, and he's going to have a long-distance par effort to stay at 9 under. Now Patrick Cantlay from a similar position underneath the hole, tight lie. Sandwich back in the stance, pops it up to the green, now trickling by the cup on the other side, settle down. That's well done. That's in that 3-foot range for Patrick Cantlay. He's going to have a good opportunity here to save par and remain 13 under.
He's just so calm and collected on those shots. The little pitch shot there, it's not super difficult, but still, this tight fairway grass around here, you catch that just a little bit off, it can make you look kind of silly, but instead Patrick Cantlay leave himself a nice little one up the hill.
Kevin Na, 8-foot par effort at 8. Looks like it's going to work to his right to remain at 9 under. Puts it on the left edge, has pace. Oh, he walks that in the front door. Little fist pump. Lovely little up and down. 9 under par for Kevin Na.
Now he gets to 4 out of 6 this week in those in that 7 to 10 foot range. Very similar to the birdie putt he made the last hole in terms of distance. But those par putts seem to really just pump you up even more, I guess. It just feels like you don't lose anything. So Kevin Na, one last piece of candy there at the last hole, par 5 ninth coming up. Currently 9 under par for the tournament.
And Kevin Na certainly putting himself in position for maybe not only back-to-back wins, a third title possibly for him at the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open. So this whole horses for courses thing is working out pretty well for you so far. Mark Wilson, we've got Cantlay, a former champ, in front. Martin Laird, another former champ, could be in the lead soon. And Kevin Na making a run today as well. Mark Cicchino.
And Patrick Cantlay, Earl, just inside 3 feet for the par save after that lovely pitch from in front of the green. Putter back to the hole. He rattles that in nicely. So 13 under par, and he's going to head to his final hole of the day, the par 5 ninth, playing alongside Ricky Fowler in this group. Ricky Fowler coming off that all-important birdie. Moves to 3 under par. He's going to give it back here. So Fowler back to 2 under.
7th hole, short distance flip wedge for Sergio Garcia. Pops it on the putting surface. It hits and holds. That's inside 10 feet for Sergio. So after eagle at 6, he's looking for a birdie at 7 to get the minus 12.
Yeah, really good look there. And once again, being aggressive with that driver, the driver that he really feels very comfortable with. And, getting it up that far. And think about it, Sergio, long hitter in the game of golf right now. We've been talking about the extra distance that he's picked up so far since last season. Looks like he's picked up about 10 yards in terms of the average. We'll see if that holds up as the year goes on. But he had 65 yards in. We're talking about Bryson knocking on the green. That kind of just gives you an idea of how much further Bryson can hit it when he gives it kind of his all-out swing. And that's something we'll probably see him do later at the 7th.
Well, and 15. I'm not sure what club he's going to use there. 284 at the par 4 15th. Today there's been an eagle and 27 birdies. So for guys like DeChambeau, there's a lot of reachable par 4s on top of the par 5s this week at TPC Summerlin.
What's fun, too, is we might see it right off the bat. The very first hole today is one of those where I kind of thought he might. He even says that he can do it. It's 417 yards today, but it's 377 at the front of the green. Hole located in the back portion, so even if he misses a little left, little right, he's going to have an easy sort of pitch shot down to that green. So I could see him go ahead and unleash right off the bat.
Unleash the beast. That's what he's been doing. Major champion, and obviously after the 62, put himself in position possibly for back-to-back wins to start this season. And yeah, that first hole, you're sitting there, it's 417, 383 you said front. Imagine stepping to the tee and thinking, yeah, I can get there. That's DeChambeau. And usually he's going to take the risk more often than not on something like that. It's going to be a lot of fun today, I think, Mark, watching him.
It is, and he's been pushing the envelope. You've seen recently Rory McIlroy posting some stuff on Instagram about, he with his ball speed, getting it up, flying at 340 yards Tony Finau came out last summer saying, hey, what if I take it back just a little bit further, a little bit more shoulder turn, get that much more speed? Can I hit it that much farther? And he found out he could. Carrying a few bunkers at Muirfield Village, he was surprised that he could carry even. So he's certainly getting everybody's attention. And, of course, ultimately, if your scores aren't good, people aren't going to follow it. But his scores have certainly backed up his theories.
Well, you're knocking from 237 out at the par 5 ninth. Hit his second shot to within 3 feet 5 inches of the hole. Can't get a better look at Eagle. Uphill, moving from right to left. Martin Laird slips the putter behind. Now strokes that ball rolling up and into the hole. An eagle to end the day for Martin Laird. That finishes off an 8 under par, 63. Rounds of 65, 63 has Martin Laird at 14 under par. Headed into the weekend at the Shriners Hospital for Children's Open.
This year, or this season, this short season's already seen the resurgence of a lot of careers. Maybe it's Martin Laird. Didn't play another PGA Tour event after the cancellation of the Players last season, but able to come out here in a place that he loves. He's already won here. He's finished second here. And why not finish the day off with an eagle? Martin Laird with that 63 this afternoon in a great place going into the weekend.
You know, speaking of eagles, Mark, Sergio Garcia coming off the eagle at 6. Didn't need the putter for that one. This now a birdie opportunity at 7. This to get to 12 under par. This is just inside 9 feet. Sergio Garcia, the victory last week at the Sanderson Farms Championship, his 11th of his PGA Tour career. Putter back, inside left, has pace to the hole, straightened out. Well, I think he was thinking a little wiggle to the right. It didn't happen. And that is a missed opportunity. Still playing very well today. It is a clean card, 6 under on the day, 11 for the championship.
Missed opportunity is right, Mark Zucchino. The putter has been a little bit warmer today than it was yesterday for Sergio Garcia. Not as warm as last week, but still picking up some strokes on the field. That's a positive in the Sergio camp.
Yeah, for him, that miss, he was 5th in strokes gained until that miss there. And, maybe water finds its level. The golf gods always level it out. You dunk one at the 6th hole. It's not going to give you the 9-footer at 7, but Sergio in great shape again. What storylines we have shaping up with Laird and Cantlay, 2 former champs at the top of the leaderboard. Sergio looking for back-to-back wins on the PGA Tour, perhaps this week. And Stuart Cink, and I mentioned him in the leaderboard. Now, he's dropped one on the front 9, made bogey a moment ago at 3, so he slips back to 5 under and -9. But 67 his opening round, he's right there in the mix again, maybe for a second win, a Brendan Todd-like start to the fall, like what he did last year. Cink, what a resurgence in his game. And a lot of it has to be just the confidence after getting that win, that next win, just about a month ago.
There's so many things with the Stuart Cink story, too, when you think about he could have taken him his one-time top 50 in the money list all-time on the PGA Tour, give him a full year, decided not to do that, saying, I'm going to get into plenty of tournaments. And lo and behold, he goes out and wins the very first one. So certainly made a good call on not using that exemption, which he could maybe use later on. And then continuing that great play now with his normal caddy back on the bag, Kip Henley back on the bag, and certainly I'm sure he's thrilled to be back, and his player's still playing so well.
My goodness, Kevin Na is inside 15 feet for eagle.
Why not for Kevin Na? Finishing off this golf course. This is the harder 9, certainly. Only got the 1 par 5 on the front 9, but another look at eagle there for for Kevin Na.
Fowler playing in next, Bill.
Contact made from 228, again, front left hole location. And it went right, the bunker. So Ricky's going to pretty much have to hole out here. He's 2 under, cut line hanging at 4. Just an awful series of holes at 16 and 17 today. All right, Patrick Cantlay again for the second day in a row. A little miss to the right, although not as bad as yesterday where he had to play a low cut. So this is from 220. Leaning a little bit to the left after contact. And this ball is going to, may have caught the bunker as well. Not sure, did not land on the putting surface here. So they're going to walk up to the green. Kevin Na will have a great look here for eagle. And Kevin right now is 9 under par. And how good was that? Early you even called this, or I think it was Mark Zucchino with the fist pump after the par save at 8 for Kevin Na. Lots of birdies out here, but those par saves are crucial.
At 30 feet, Sergio Garcia at 11 under.
Always one of the greatest ball strikers, especially with his irons. Sergio Garcia has certainly been driving it well also, but in terms of the thump you hear when you're kind of walking down a driving range, when Sergio hits an iron shot, say with just a normal 6-7 iron or something, it certainly makes you glance over. Oh, who was that? What was that? That sounds good. I want to do that.
And that group, Kevin Na, eagle opportunity, defending champion, a good one inside 15 feet. And Patrick Cantlay needs an up and down for birdie at 9. We'll finish that group up in 60 seconds.
Just gets it up on top, and that's going to come back to him. And that will eliminate any hopes of playing on the weekend for Ricky Fowler. Get out of the bunker. He'll play again, hitting his 4th.
Yeah, it's just so disappointing in the Ricky Fowler camp after how he came out yesterday. That double bogey at 17 kind of soured his round a little bit, but the putter was hot yesterday. First in strokes gained putting, was using kind of feeling good, but 4 golf balls in the water for Ricky Fowler really is going to be the difference of why he doesn't have a weekend tee time.
And 3 in that stretch, 16-17 today, 3 in the water there. Sealed his fate, Bill.
All right, Patrick Cantlay, not a lot of green to work with. Much closer in this greenside bunker than Fowler was. Just gets it on top. That's rolling to the flag. And just goes by on the left. Oh, they almost hold that out. That'll be a tap-in birdie for Patrick Cantlay. He's going to get to 14 under par if that goes in, heading to the weekend.
Really nice. Benefited for being a little bit more in the flat, maybe even a little bit on the upslope, a little shorter shot, so that much more easier than Ricky Fowler had just a moment ago. But that will be his second sand save of the week out of 5 attempts, and a couple of those came at that drivable 15th, and you get some really awkward bunker shots there at the 15th, so those were a little bit more difficult. So that's a little misleading stat. He'll be 40% on his sand save so far this week, but boy, what a tremendous couple of rounds of golf. We kind of figured Patrick Cantlay was going to play well again, but until you actually do see it, you're not totally sure.
All right, Patrick Cantlay just tipped the cap as he stepped up, knocked in the 2-footer for his closing birdie. So 63 in the opening round for Cantlay, an 8 under round, 1 back to start this tournament. Now a co-leader again as he caps things off in 14 under par for a 65 for the former champ. 2 former champs, Cantlay and Martin Laird, tied for the Friday lead in Vegas.
Once again, it's like if you like the golf course, you've got good vibes, good pictures, you like how the greens roll, you read them well, why not? Why wouldn't the hole all of a sudden look like it's 6 inches wide instead of 4 1/4? Fairways look bigger. Patrick Cantlay doing everything just right. Even when he short-sided himself on this hole there at the 9th, able to hit a really nice recovery up and down. And then you think of the hole before, he actually got up and down just short of the green. So keeping the round going with some of these up and downs for Patrick Cantlay, and then taking advantage when he's got the birdie putts.
And his scoring average at the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open had been 66.67 coming into the week in 12 career rounds. He's improving on that so far this week. 63-65, as Laird has done it the same way, just opposite rounds, 65-63 for him, and co-leaders at 14 under, Bill Brzezinski.
All right, Kevin Na, 13-footer downhill. This for eagle at his finishing hole, the 9th. Just to get to 11 under through 36 holes. Down the slope it goes, making its way to the cup, looking good. And turn right. Leaning on the putter now, left hand on his hip. Leaning on the putter on the right. That's not going to get it to fall, though. He's going to walk up. This could be an easy tap-in birdie. And he's going to mark because I think he's in Ricky Fowler's line. But that should go down, so Kevin Na will be 10 under heading to Saturday.
Well, he's got that 5 under average, a couple of great rounds, really, 66 and 66 for that. But the way Patrick Cantlay's playing, and we got Bryson DeChambeau teeing off a little bit later, he keeps shooting 5 under par. That's probably going to come up a little bit short. I know Kevin Na would certainly like to get his hands on that trophy once again as a defending champion. Pretty cool to win it back-to-back years.
Not sure what your preference is at the roulette table. When you're on the golf course in Vegas, you better play red, and you need to see a lot of it this week. Stuart Cink, I mentioned his bogey at 3, bounced right back, just made a 13-footer at the 4. So Stuart Cink, 5 holes to go in his opening round. He's now 10 under par and already a winner this year. Stuart Cink in the mix, 4 shots back with a lot of golf to play.
Another thing Stuart did, too, was just before the Safeway, he came out to his equipment manufacturing companies located in Phoenix, went out there and really dialed in all of his clubs in terms of loft, lie, distances, all that kind of stuff. Got the right driver shaft and driver head, and that gave him some confidence. And then, of course, to put that equipment into play at the Safeway and have it work so well, now you're just oozing with confidence. And if you hit a poor shot out there, you know it was you. There's no question that it's the equipment anyway. So Stuart Cink, a really nice week spent, or a few days at least spent before the season started, really helping him with this continued good play.
The players out early, first half of the field, a field of 144 this week. Right now, we only have about 10 players over par today for this first half of the field. So the scoring is great, and one of them was Ricky Fowler, and he's headed home. Struggled with a 74, so not enough to make the cut. He's outside the top 100, and that cut line still lurking at 4 under par, but you have to expect that's probably not going to be enough. You're going to have to target at least 5 under to have a chance to play this weekend. But it is a week and a weekend where, with all these low scores available, you could sneak into the cut line and become a factor pretty quickly if you go low early Saturday.
Shoot a low one. I remember my buddy Tag Ridings back in, I think it was 2004, early in my PGA Tour career, shot a nice little 61 in the final round to move way up the leaderboard on a windy day, too. So we might get some wind. You never know. Some of these windstorms come up in the desert, and they make it that much more tricky. But the greens are so good that you can still shoot some low scores. So that's a day that you could really move up the leaderboard. But the heat so far this week in Las Vegas has really required them to put some moisture on these greens at night so that they don't dry up too much and they don't lose them. And the players are certainly benefiting from the soft conditions and these greens that are rolling 11.5 on the stimp meter. That's a speed, Earl, where these guys, they're just licking their chops. So they're not really worried about the ball getting too away from them.
Sergio Garcia has 28 feet. It's above the hole. Will work to his right. Birdie effort at 8. Down the slope. Needs to stretch. Oh, conservative stroke. Don't want that one to get away from you. That'll be inside 2 feet. Should be good enough for Sergio. He's going to remain 11 under par, and he's going to have the par 5 ninth ahead of him for his final hole of the day.
That par 5 ninth is going to be a big factor this week. Has been already. Martin Laird, Patrick Cantlay get their final birdies of the day there, and those two are tied for the lead at 14 under as we continue PGA Tour radio coverage from TPC Summerlin in Las Vegas. Second round of the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open.
Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch.
A little Sin City, AC/DC, bringing us back as we continue our second round of the Shriners Hospitals for Children's Open. New music announced this week, actually, from AC/DC. The name Sin City is often a nickname tagged to the city of Las Vegas, along with the gambling capital of the world and the entertainment capital of the world. But interesting note, back in 1910, they actually banned gambling in Las Vegas, and it wasn't until 1931 with the Las Vegas legislature that reversed that decision and made gambling legal in the Las Vegas desert. My guess, guys, I'm not a politician, I'm not a city planner, but my hunch is pretty good decision looking back.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well. And, a guy that just finished up a few minutes ago, James Hahn, could be playing with house money. He's on a major medical, but, he's in a position now to possibly get that taken care of this week. 64-66 for James Hahn, 12 under for the tournament heading into the weekend, and standing by with Fred Albers.
James, what a round of golf for you. Of course, we got to talk about the Eagle at 15, about 26 and a half feet. Tell me about the hole.
At this point, I really don't remember. Let's see, what's 15?
15 is the drivable par 4. You put it 26 feet out to the right of the cup.
Yeah, it was a perfect yardage. Slightly into the wind. Just a normal cut driver. Wanted it to land soft, so teed it up a little higher. Hit a really good shot to the middle of the green, and then, read it right, really fast down the hill, and, 2 good shots.
Look at you. You make so many eagles, you can't even remember them these days. You only missed one fairway in the second round, 13 or 14. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I told you yesterday that I had to hit more fairways in order to give myself more opportunities. It seemed like I did the exact opposite. Hit a lot of fairways, but didn't give myself a lot of birdie opportunities, missed a lot of greens on the front nine. And so hopefully I can put it all together on the weekend.
Did the course play much different, and what should we look for out of the leaders this afternoon?
Yeah, this morning at 6:45, it was definitely played a little different. Couldn't see the ball land. on the range. It was a little colder. Greens were softer though, and so anytime you're first off, you're getting smooth greens. Was able to take advantage. Made some really good par putts on the front nine, which is the back, but our front nine, which allowed me to kind of stay in contention.
Early start, early finish. You got any plans this afternoon? Have you been down to any casinos? Have you had any fun here in town or any plans?
Not really a big gambler, but I told my 5-year-old that I'd go swimming with her, so I've been thinking about that all day. Missed the last 2 days practicing and grinding out here, so it feels good to kind of get the afternoon off.
Well, that's a gamble. Don't let her dunk you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great plans this afternoon from James Hahn. Well deserved. He actually talked about the injury he had in 2019 early on as a blessing in disguise. Got some therapy, some platelet-rich plasma therapy for his elbow. He actually had a tear in his triceps tendon, but he said it was a blessing in disguise because he got to spend time with then 4-year-old daughter and his wife, and memories that he'll never be able to get back. It's like he can remember that, but if he was just completely grinding on another PGA Tour summer, would have missed out a lot. So he's going to enjoy swimming there after rounds of 66 and 64, a couple of eagles, and certainly in that interview, a great lesson. He is so in the moment. He forgot even what hole it was. I mean, that just shows a guy who is dedicated to what he's doing. He's in the moment. He's ready for the next hole. The next one he's thinking about will be that tee shot on Saturday when he tees off for the third round.
Well, he may not be a big casino guy. He does have a lucky charm. He uses a car wash coin to mark his golf ball. And obviously, a lot of good marks this week so far for him. Certainly on the scorecard is he's put up a couple of good ones. And what you need to do, I mean, you have to live in the mid-60s at TPC Summerlin. That's what he's done, 64, 66. The leaders, both of them, open with 65, 63. In the case of Patrick Cantlay, it's reverse 63, 65, but that's part of the formula. And Martin Laird, when he won this tournament, it was a playoff win for Martin Laird in 2009. That was 19 under par. Lead is at 14 under right now as the first wave finishes up on a Friday.
It's one of those when you have 4 days of pretty soft winds, soft greens, you're going to get those years when it's 23 to 25 under. One of the years when Patrick Cantlay won his first one in a playoff, that was 9 under par. They had lots of wind, a little cooler temperatures. I believe that was actually even later in the calendar year, so played that much more difficult, but really happy for James Hahn. I talked about it earlier, the great comeback he had just last season at this event to make the cut. So James Hahn, never a guy to give up on the medical extension. Already has earned 160 FedEx Cup points in just 2 events played with 2 top 10 finishes. Needs another 140 to get that full status back, and might as well shoot for the moon, though. Why even try to get that? Might as well try to get the W over the weekend, but if he comes up a little bit short, may even satisfy that medical. Oh, he'll be aggressive, Earl, and he's 5 shots back, but he has 18 holes left. Patrick Cantlay doesn't have any holes left here, and of course it really matters where you stand at the end of 72 holes, but his track record here is great. What was most impressive to me was him out of the gates yesterday. A 30 on the back nine, 6 under par with 15 putts. That means he had every single green in regulation, plus 3 greens he was putting for eagle. Now, that's just unheard of. That's incredible ball striking. The back nine he had another putt for an eagle and 1 from the fringe. So tremendous ball striking. Rolled in a decent amount of putts, especially a couple par putts. And so always fun to watch Bryson play. It's kind of a little bit like watching Phil Mickelson when you think about it. You're not sure what he's going to do next. We kind of know that Bryson's likely going to be pretty aggressive, just like Phil Mickelson is.
So 3 par 5s. We have the short reachable par 4 at 15,284 today. We have 380 at the 7th hole today, and you said maybe he makes a run at the green at the par 4 first hole. Is that it? Am I missing anything from places he can get to?
Number 10, I think he could. I was looking at the wind, though, Earl. Number 1, with it into the wind, I think he's probably not going to go for it.
Iron off the tee for the overnight leader, Bryson DeChambeau, former champ, U.S. Open winner. Big swing off the tee with a long iron. He's staring it up, maybe leaking a little bit to the right. And it does gets a good kick, though, so right center of the right side of the fairway for DeChambeau, dialing back a little bit with a smile at the first.
I think really, Earl, it's just because what wind is there is back into his face. So feeling like he can just go hit the iron and then get himself a wedge onto that back hole location at the back of the green. So in his mind, he felt like that was the proper play. It's not the crowd favorite play, but believe me, he's going to give us plenty as the day goes on.
He'll play long ball at some point. He always does. Up ahead at the ninth, Sergio Garcia, last week's winner, going to try to wrap things up with a birdie in 60 seconds.
Eagle has a chance, just going to miss on the low side. Sergio, that's going to be a closing birdie for Sergio Garcia. 12 under par as he heads to the weekend. Speaking of scrambling, gentlemen, yesterday, 115 strokes gained around the green for Sergio. Today, 13th strokes gained around the green. Another lovely up and down to close with birdie for the Spaniard.
Nice catch there, Mark, too, and for what he did there, that little pitch down the hill, very key. And then, his round, though, highlighted by that hold wedge shot there back at the 6th hole, hit the fairway, and then had himself 111 yards and rolled that one in kind of like a putt. So, great day, great couple of days for Sergio Garcia coming off that victory last week.
10-footer hooking birdie putt for Hideki Matsuyama. Throws it out to the right. This needs the snap ball. Oh, it's going to miss on the high side. That was a big 10 feet. That ball had a found darkness. It would have certainly ensured the weekend at 6 under par. Still in a good spot after rounds of 68 and 69 now at 5 under par, but not a guarantee for Saturday.
Mark, you're right. That's an uneasy spot there, and he's going to be kicking himself. The front 9 today, his second 9, played at 1 over par, bogey at the 6th, and then not able to get that one in there to get to 6 under par. It's kind of, I would say, 60-40 against Hideki getting a weekend tee time, but you never know. He'll be certainly doing his wind dance to see if the conditions get a little more tougher this afternoon.
Just 2 feet for Sergio to finish up the up and down. He's not missed any of these, really, in the last 2 weeks, as that is straight in for Sergio. Solid stroke. We've seen it a lot. And Garcia with a birdie to cap off a round of 64. So Sergio in the mix for a second straight win this weekend in Vegas at 12 under.
It was a little bit of a slow start yesterday and just kind of plotted his way around the golf course, but eventually, posting that 66 with a final couple of birdies. And then today, finishing basically with the eagle and a birdie in his last 4 holes. So Sergio Garcia finishing strong so far as he comes off that victory last week in Mississippi.
And that putter has been so good. He is 27 out of 27 inside 5 feet, where he dominated last week in winning, Fred Albers.
Well, Bryson DeChambeau laid up with an iron off the tee at the 417 opening hole. Mark, I'm a little confused. He told me he was going to try to drive 4 of the par 4s. Now, obviously, 15 is in play along with 7. And I thought maybe 1 and 10 he'd be hitting driver, try to drive these greens, but apparently not. Lead up, he heard first.
Fred, I agree. I thought so, too. I think just that little bit of wind in made a difference for Bryson to lay up today.
Full solid one of these.
Does have a healthy
like
distance
a 10,
in.
1039.
183 the number as he confers with his longtime caddy, Tim Tucker. And now we're ready to go. Right-hand side of the fairway to a right-hand hole location. 9 paces from the edge of the green. I thought the course set up for scoring today. Only 5 holes, 4 or less from the fringes. And Bryson sends that ball into the air. And look at disappointment on his face. That's not a bad play, maybe 20 feet. Going to work closer and closer to the hole. By the time that stops rolling, maybe 15 feet away. If he's disappointed with that, he's in for a heck of an afternoon.
Got to play it on that side there. A little bit of slope off the green side bunker to the right. Certainly slopes back towards there. But going away from you there, that first green in that back portion was always a bit awkward to get it close to the hole.
To the 18th, Bill Rosinski.
Here at the 18th green, Nate Lashley trying to finish the second round out in style. He got a downhill 16-footer. And this to shoot a 5 under 66 on day 2. Down the slope it goes, picking up some speed. He's got to miss it on the left side. Should be able to knock that in for par. That's still a good round for him. 4 under and minus 12 heading to Saturday.
If Nate can get that one down, which he likely will, that's bogey-free for 36 holes for the Rocket Mortgage Classic winner 2 seasons ago. That was an incredible story. He came in there. He was actually the first alternate, got in the field on Wednesday, and then just torched the place. Forget how many under he was. I think 23, 24 under par to win his very first PGA Tour event. But off to a good start here in the desert. 12 under par. If he can get that one home for 36 holes.
Great starts for both co-leaders at 14 under. Both are former champions. One, Martin Laird, he was the first one in at 14 under today. We'll hear what he had to say in 60 seconds.
Hey.
2009 winner Martin Laird went out today, made 6 birdies and an eagle to shoot a bogey-free 63. He spoke a few minutes ago to Fred Albers.
Martin, what a great way to end the day. We had you 238 out hitting into the ninth green. Tell me about the eagle.
Yeah, I hit 5 iron, and I didn't think I could maybe get it there, but to that pin, if you're 5 yards short of the green, it's a pretty straightforward chip up the green. So we're really just trying to hit it down there in front edge, just short, and as soon as I hit it, I just absolutely got it right out of the screws, and I said to my caddy, that's as good as I got, let's see if it gets there, and it landed perfect, like a yard short, and skipped up to about 4 feet, so it was a nice way to finish for sure.
I was up at the green after contact. I saw you leaning a little bit. I'm saying those bunkers are in play. You cleared them by a couple yards and just rolled up perfectly, and you made the putt. I know putting's been big for you the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I've been hitting it great, I feel like, for a while. Been working hard in the putting. It's coming around nicely. I putted pretty nicely last week. Just didn't make enough of that 15 to 20 foot range, but hold out really nicely. So took a lot of positives out of that, and I knew if I just kept my swing feels great. It's right where I want it. I feel like I'm controlling my ball flight really well, and I just knew I needed to make some putts. And even yesterday, I putted okay yesterday, not great, and had a good round. So I said to my coach last night, if I just keep doing this and I get a day where the putts start going in, it could get really good. So they finally went in on that back nine today, and it was fun.
Golf never owes anything to anybody, but I was behind 17 green a couple years ago when Jonathan Bird made the hole-in-one. Do you ever think of this as unfinished business?
No, I was fortunate enough to win it the year before, so if that was my only chance to win it and that happened, I would maybe it'll be a little more upset. But what can you do about hole-in-one in a playoff? It's I was saying that the other day. It might never happen again. Walk off hole-in-one, so I'm a little part of history, and you can't get mad when someone makes a one on you.
Have a good weekend.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
He could get mad about what happened, though, right after basically the lockdown of the PGA Tour. He was getting ready to come back, and then all of a sudden stumbled in the house and all of a sudden tore the meniscus in his left knee. Basically couldn't walk out of nowhere. He was fired up to come back at Colonial, but unable to do that, so went right and had surgery immediately. Basically couldn't walk. So he was back on the couch again after the lockdown. He's got 2 young kids that I'm sure we're jumping all over him, wanting to do some stuff, but he rehabbed properly, came back, played a Corn Ferry Tour event, and his finishes so far this season getting better and better. 28th last week at Sanderson Farm. So it looks like with the ball striking he's talking about, he's feeling very comfortable with that. Sounds like the knee is not hurting him at all. The surgery was successful, and off to a good start for Martin Laird here after 36 holes.
Well, it seems we're talking a lot about defending champions and former champions already this week. One's at the first hole. Bryson DeChambeau, winner a couple of years ago, trying to follow up the 62 he shot yesterday, Fred.
Well, Bryson DeChambeau went to bed with a one-shot lead. Begins the second round. Last I looked at the leaderboard, tied for ninth. But there are birdies to be made, including here at the first. Layup off the tee, then hit his approach to 19 feet. There's a bending putt from right to left. Bryson DeChambeau trying to take it to 10 under. Sends that ball on its way. Here comes the turn to the left at the edge and doesn't go. He thought he made that. Had the putter outstretched for a make. Of course, putting with the flagstick in. And a 2-putt par for Bryson DeChambeau to begin his second round.
Bryson hit so many good-looking putts from, say, outside 20 feet. That one there from just inside 20 feet. But really a great green reader. Uses a style called vector putting that he explained to me about 5 years ago. And I kind of got lost about halfway through it. I didn't understand what he was saying. But he understands it, and that's most important. He has a lot of hope on so many of those putts in that 20-foot range.
Back to Fred Albers again at 1.
Cameron Champ looks headed for a 2-putt par from 30 feet away. His putt peeled out to the left-hand side at the cup. Now Matthew Wolff, who opened at 3 under 68. Beautiful approach here to within 11 feet of the cup. Slightly downhill. This should also move from right to left. Matthew Wolff, 31st in strokes gained putting after the opening round. The customary waggle for Wolff. And now, gently down the hill, the ball tumbling end over end to the cup, now at the bottom of the hole. And a nice birdie at the first from 11 feet away for Matthew Wolff. He moves to 4 under.
if it wasn't for Bryson DeChambeau, Matthew Wolff would now be a 3-time winner on the PGA Tour. As runner-up back at the Rocket Mortgage Classic this summer, and then runner-up also at the U.S. Open. So Matthew Wolff playing alongside Bryson DeChambeau. I don't know, maybe he's seen enough of him, but certainly Matthew Wolff off to a better start today, 1 under par through 1.
Going to need good starts and good second rounds today to make up ground on those co-leaders. 2 former champs, Martin Laird and Patrick Cantlay, share the lead at 14 under as we are underway for Friday. Another gorgeous afternoon in Vegas. PGA Tour radio coverage from TPC Summerlin and the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open.
Scores heating up in the Las Vegas desert in the second round of the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open, as is PGA Tour University. After launching over the summer to strengthen and evaluate the path to the PGA Tour through the Korn Ferry Tour and the 3 international tours, PGA Tour University just announced its full player ranking Wednesday night. Florida State's John Pack remained atop the ranking. There was movement throughout the top 15, as well as an introduction of 448 players across various conferences, representing 178 NCAA Division I men's golf program. The rest of the top 4 also remain unchanged following the top 25 ranking, updated 2 weeks ago, where Pack was followed by Arizona State's Kevin Yu, Georgia's Davis Thompson, and Texas Tech's Sandy Scott, all of whom competed in last month's U.S. Open at Wakeford.
14 under par is our co-lead. Martin Laird, Patrick Cantlay, 2 former champs in front as we continue our second round coverage from TPC Summerlin in Las Vegas for the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open, home to the PGA Tour. 1983 Las Vegas welcomed the NHL in 2017 with the Vegas Golden Knights. Their first season went to the Stanley Cup Finals. WNBA, of course, the Las Vegas Aces, who recently
Visit on the PGA Tour we're playing my rookie year was a 5-round event. Played all different courses around Las Vegas, and now we're centralized here at TPC Summerlin, one of the tournament players clubs that we have. We got 31 of them across the country, and they are just phenomenal golf courses geared for the PGA Tour players to play and practice, but then also to host big events.
Well, some of the PGA Tour pros are playing a home game this week. It is home for Kevin Na in Las Vegas, and he's made this his home on the golf course as well. A 2-time winner, defending champ, and he's put himself in the mix heading to the weekend. 66-66 for Kevin Na. 10 under for the week. He's standing by with Bill Rosinski.
Kevin, another fun day in the desert for you. Another 5 under. You're 10 under heading for the weekend. Your thoughts on how the round went today?
I played well. My putter was really cold till I made a few on the other side, but I was playing really solid, and then that 3-putt from 32 feet on 16 was a bit painful, and I really haven't made much putts till the last 6 holes or something. I made a couple. But I didn't realize how tough these greens were to be till this week.
I like the fact you gave it the fist pump at 8 when you make that up and down. And as many birdies as you make out here, the fact that you can get excited about a par save, that's crucial as you head to the weekend.
Yes, I mean, this golf course, you have to go low, but you got to make your birdies. You stay patient, but if you make no bogeys, you're going to rack up all those birdies, right? So it's a key when you have those 6-7 footers for a par that you make those. And I made 2 nice pars today. I did make one for 2 nice putts for a par. I did make 1 bogey, unfortunately. No bogey yesterday, so only 1 bogey for the week so far. It's good.
Finally, thoughts heading into the weekend, confident in your game, anything you're going to work on this afternoon?
I'm hitting the ball well, driving the ball well. If I can make a few more putts, my putter stroke doesn't feel bad. I feel like we've misread few. Like on the last hole, I had a 12-footer for an eagle. We had it 4 inches on the right. I started 4 inches on the right and missed the hole by 2 inches. I mean, that usually doesn't happen for me out here. And Kenny and I have not agreed on some greens, and like on 17, I had the putt going at right center, and I looked at it, goes, what do you think? He goes, left center to inside left. I'm going, oh shit. And I played it straight to left center and went left. I'm kicking myself because I know these greens, right? But I'm doing fine.
Good luck on the weekend. Thanks.
Enjoyed it.
40 rounds out here for Kevin Na at this event. It's yes, he knows the greens there, but that's a great dynamic of a player-caddy relationship there. Of course, he trusts Kenny Harms and his reads, and he wants Kenny to tell him exactly what he thinks instead of just agreeing with his player and say, yeah, Pro, I agree with you. He doesn't want that. He wants the input from an extra set of eyes. So Kenny out there, maybe he misread a couple. Kevin also maybe misread a couple, and that's the golfer for you. He shoots 500 today, but he's thinking about those ones that he let get away, Earl.
Well, the Webb Simpson Colin Morikawa group with Joaquin Niemann has reached the first green. Colin Morikawa with a missed opportunity early. He had a nice little 10-footer for birdie that he started on the left edge. It would not wiggle, so he's going to tap in for par, and he'll remain 2 under. Webb Simpson found the fairway bunker and has 9 feet for par to stay at 3 under. Putter back, puts it on the right edge, going to the cup, and he has it. Okay, nice par save. Maybe you can get some momentum off the 9-footer. Webb Simpson, 3 under.
Yeah, it's a great save there after that errant tee shot, not being able to catch the second shot very solidly, kind of heading into that first green. So certainly keep the momentum going the right direction. Kevin Nod talked about that, the bogey avoidance, how important that is at a tournament like this where everybody's going so low.
Now, Joaquin Niemann has about 8 feet, and it's on an identical line to Colin Morikawa. So he's got a great teach. He knows it does not move as much to his right as Morikawa anticipated. Exact number on this one is 7 feet 2 inches. If you hit it with a little speed, I don't think you need to play any break at all on this putt. You just got to be prepared to make the 3-footer coming back if you miss. Turning this into the dreaded straight putt. Everybody hates straight putts, right? Joaquin going through his pre-shot routine, feeling the arc, rolls the ball down the slope to the hole right in the front door. Nice little opening birdie, and Joaquin Niemann is 4 under par.
The dreaded straight putt. Yeah, it seems like it makes the hole half as big for some reason. Because you're like, could it go a little right? Could it go a little left? Joaquin Niemann there, knowing if anything, it was going to go towards the back of the green there. There's definitely a slope there. That ball going in the right center of the hole, but down for an opening birdie.
And low numbers on the course today so far. We've had the 63 by Laird, Sergio with a 64. Not quite as low as DeChambeau's 62 to start things off, but they're lighting it up again, Fred.
Perfect drive for Bryson DeChambeau at the difficult par 4 second hole. 356 off the tee, 98 in. Throws this up on the right-hand side. This is going to be good. Spins it back. That looks to be inside at 10 feet upcoming for Bryson DeChambeau. Has a birdie putt out here at the second. Begins this round at 9 under.
Bryson talked about wanting to go back to the driving range yesterday after his opening round 62 to just try to get the driver dialed in a little bit better. This was the shot he was probably thinking about. He hit it way left. Actually had to hit a provisional. The provisional was further left than that. That ball was definitely out of bounds. Thankfully found the first one that first round and made a great par save at the second. But for him to step up on this tee, it's an elevated tee shot, dogleg right. You've got the desert down the right. So easy to hit it into trouble. He just lashed that thing 356 yards into the fairway, and that set up that wedge shot that he hit inside 10 feet.
You're listening to exclusive coverage of the Shriners Hospitals for Children Open from TPC Summerlin in Las Vegas, Nevada. And as we do at the top and bottom of every hour in our live play-by-play coverage, time now for a leaderboard update brought to you by MasterCard. Tap and go with your MasterCard, the simple, secure way to pay.
And two former champs sit atop the leaderboard, tied for the lead on Friday. Martin Laird and Patrick Cantlay at 14 under par. Laird shot 63 today. He won this tournament in 2009. Patrick Cantlay won his 3 years ago. Has been a runner-up the last 2 years. He's tied for the lead, in great shape to make another run again at 14 under.
All in all, it was pretty solid today. Really just one mistake on 11. Just hit a wedge over the green, which I shouldn't do. But other than that, I played great, and it was really solid. I had lots of opportunities. I actually hit a bunch of good putts in the middle of the round on that second 9, and none of them went in. But, yeah, I'm in a good spot come the weekend.
Yeah, that 11th hole is only bogey of the day. That's where he started on the back 9. Made 4 in a row midway through the round, which kick-started things. And Cantlay and Laird share a 2-shot lead on James Hahn, Nate Lashley, and Sergio Garcia, who are tied for third at 12 under. Sergio shooting 64 today. Ryan Palmer He's wrapping up at 18. That's a low one on the course. 7 under for the round for Ryan Palmer. Now minus 11 and 3 shots back. We just heard from two-time champ, defending champ Kevin Na with a 66. Back-to-back 66s. He's at 10 under. And Stuart Cink still 2 to play as he finishes on the front. 10 under and 4 back as well.
Matt Kuchar was able to get himself in the clubhouse at 9 under after a 66 today. That's 9th position. Bryson DeChambeau right there with him, even par through 1 hole. Hideki Matsuyama hanging there, 49th place right now at 5 under in the clubhouse. That's likely not going to make the weekend. 65 in ties makes it to the weekend, but a lot of golf still left this afternoon. And just getting on the golf course, Webb Simpson and Colin Morikawa. Webb, even through the first, he's 3 under. Colin Morikawa 2 under, even through the first hole. Ricky